serves one term, not two.
Let's bring in our company senior advisor for the New Democrat Network, Alicia Menendez, and Republican strategist Boris Epstein. Good morning to both of you. So, Boris, what do you think? Is she your party's girl?
She is not our party's girl as a whole. She will probably not be the candidate in 12. But I think she does do good for the party if she does decide to run. And she galvanizes the conservative wing of the party, what's called the Tea Party, which really is just the conservative wing of the Republican Party. And I think she really does well for Tim Pawlenty, who's from her home state, Minnesota, if she runs, because she galvanizes that part of the base for him as well nationally.
Well, it has an interesting perspective, Alicia, and here's the argument I've also heard. I mean, she is attractive, she gives great speeches, and she does sort of bring in that very traditional wing of the party, which tends to be, frankly, the ones who go door to door, the ones who get to the polls. So is she serious?
I think she is serious, and I agree with Boris. She should be serious, because if she doesn't run, then there's no true Tea Party candidate in this race. And think they've proven themselves to be a force in state races. As a spectator, it would be really interesting to see what they're capable of on the national stage. And the truth of the matter is, people joke about her candidacy when the other people who've come forward as candidates have their own baggage. Mitt Romney passed an Obama-esque health care bill in Massachusetts. That's not going to play well with the base. You have Newt Gingrich, who called Spanish the language of the ghetto. I can't wait to see how that goes over in the Southwest and in Florida. So I think there is viability to this. I think her vulnerability, though, is that she does focus on social issues. And I think when you have an election that's about meat and potato, jobs, the economy, she's going to need to come up with a plan just like every other candidate.
All right, well, let me give the opposing view in the form of this piece of sound from our old friend Ron Reagan. Take a listen.
Maybe they can do better. So you tune into a Republican primary debate, and the first three people you see are Michelle Bachmann, Sarah Palin, and Donald Trump. Unless you're looking for a Snooki to get into the race, you're getting off that bus. You know, this is bad for the Republican Party, and I think some Republicans know it.
Could independents, Boris, look at a field like that and say, "Are you kidding me?"
I don't think so.
No.
We have Tim Pawlenty in the race, who has a long history of appealing to independents, to the right wing of the conservative party. We have Mitt Romney in the race, who's also appealed to independents, obviously having won in Massachusetts. So I disagree. I think it is good for the Republicans to have wide representation in the primaries, to appeal to a lot of different voters, who then will come together, as Republicans always do in the primary, and vote for whoever it is that are our nominee.
Well, let me read to you what Robert Reich said, because he's sort of along the lines of Ron Reagan here, Alicia. Never before in modern history have the Republicans considered a more bizarre group of characters who bear more resemblance to the denizens of the bar in Star Wars than to serious leaders. Is your argument, not to put words in your mouth, but that if Democrats really have that attitude, they could find themselves in trouble?
The Democrats, no, I think that, listen, I am a progressive, and so the fact that I would love to see Michelle Bachmann run should tell you something about what I think about her candidacy and the other people in the field. But I do think right now that there is no clear candidate, and I think that we should enjoy the process that's about to unfold in front of us, and we should really push each of these candidates to get beyond their belly aching about the deficit and put forward some real plan that puts Americans back to work, that gets our economy back on track, and that tackles the deficit in a real and serious way.
I agree with Alicia. I think those are great points.
With that.
We're on the same page. It's a good Friday today.
It's a great Friday, and you know what? This is fun.
So,
it's going to
Boris,
be a great season.
Does that mean nobody here meets those requirements?
Tim Pawlenty, Mitt Romney, Newt Gingrich, not Michelle Bachmann, but at least the top three meet those requirements.
All right.